Hi everybody, my name is Ambika and in today's lecture we will going to talk about message writing and notice writing. Now before discussing anything in detail about our topic, I want to give you a piece of advice which is guys literally genuinely enroll yourself with Unacademy just in case, like honestly, if you have plans to crack all those difficult exams, be it IIT, JEE, or in fact, preparing for those civil exams or any sort of exams, we have got here India's best top educators who will going to help you out with all your doubts, queries. There'll be sessions related to it. So, if you have plans to go for such exams, then enroll yourself. And in fact, if you're in school, and so for that also you can enroll yourself with Unacademy, and for that you can use my code, which is AMBIKA, if you want to get a discount of 10%. So go for it, guys, and do avail the discount. Now, with this, let's begin with message writing. As you all know, that message writing is an important part of our writing skills when it comes to at least CBSE, right? So, herein, I'm going to give you certain tips which you can follow while writing messages. Okay. Now, what is a message? A message is a very short composition meant to convey an important piece of information to somebody whom one cannot meet in person. So, for example, let's just say here's a situation that you want to convey a message to somebody, you want to tell something to somebody, but that person is not physically present there. So, what we can simply do, we can write a message for that particular person. One thing we need to keep in mind is that message is an informal piece of writing. I repeat that message is an informal piece of writing. Now, I have just taken out a picture like how, messages can be displayed on, let's just say, on our house's refrigerators, or, maybe you can cite a message somewhere which is easily visible to somebody to whom you are addressing, right? For it, the message which is being written for somebody, it should be at the reach that it is clearly visible, right? So that is only the objective, the only simple way how one can see your message. It should be somewhere, kept, or it should be displayed somewhere which is uh, which is in the easy vicinity of the concerned person. Now, what is the purpose of a message? So the simple purpose of giving up a message is that you are trying to give away an information. For example, here's an information that I will be reaching Delhi on Wednesday, 28th May by the Shatabdi Express. So you are simply telling your own plans, you're providing an information about yourself that you will going to reach Delhi on Wednesday, 28th. So let's just say the other person is not right there to whom this message is, you want to discuss this thing. So you have put simply this information on a piece of paper, right? Now, next is to request someone to do something. So when you're requesting somebody to do something for you, in that scenario also we do write message. So I'm going to mall, pick Ronak from coaching, right? So you are simply, requesting somebody to do something for you. So you have put here a message that I'm going to mall. So you please kindly, pick Ronak from the coaching center. Next is to alert or warn somebody against something, right? So, like for example, don't use the electronic appliances, right, at home because there is constant power fluctuation. So you are simply advising, you are, warning somebody like don't do that. Okay, don't use electronic appliances because maybe that person wasn't there at home, and because of which he or she doesn't know about the power fluctuation. So herein you have, let's just say, displayed this message on maybe on the center table of your drawing room, or maybe on the refrigerator, right? So that it is visible to the concerned person. That is the only objective of writing a message. Next is to give an explanation. Like if you want to give an explanation for something. So for example, apologies for trying to ping you, but my phone's battery died. I was trying to ping you, but unfortunately my phone's battery died. So these are the certain places, there are certain, areas wherein you can write up a message. To convey somebody's message received on telephone. For this, we generally get questions on when it comes to our CBSE exams also, that there's a telephonic conversation mentioned and you have to write a message about that conversation, right? For example, Ankita called up for you to inform that tomorrow there'll be a creative writing competition, right? So let's just say you got a phone call from Ankita's, friend, and then that friend informs you that please inform Ankita that there'll be a creative writing competition tomorrow. So for that, what you will going to do? You will going to write a message concerning the creative writing competition, and it will be for Ankita. All right. Okay. So, when it comes to our exams, we simply need to follow a certain format, in which how we are supposed to write the message. So, for that, there needs to be a date, there needs to be a time, name of person to whom the message is directed. So, you simply can't write it for everybody, whosoever is there in the house. There's supposed to be somebody, one specific person for whom that message will be directed. Okay. Body of the message, like the body will going to contain all the content of the information which you want to transfer to the other person. And next will be the name of the writer. Okay, now let's check out the features. As I have told you in the beginning of this video itself, that message is an informal piece of writing. A message is supposed to be short, precise, and concise. Only important content which is essential needs to be written. You simply can't write about anything or everything. Only important information needs to be there. This is, I agree that it is simply an informal piece of writing, but that doesn't mean you can write about everything or anything. No, we do have to consider that you have got a limited space for the content, right? So please use it wisely. Along with that, we in an exam also we have got 50 words can be written. The word limit is also there, so we have to consider that also. It may include the name of the concerned message for whom the message is for, the signature and name of the person who is writing the message. So, for example, you are writing the message, so you are supposed to mention your name and you need to give your signature also. And complete sentences are meant to be there. You simply can't use abbreviations, avoid using that. Okay. Now, the point which we need to keep in mind while writing up the message, only the important information needs to be there. As I have already told you, avoid writing irrelevant information. Okay? Don't add the information on your own. Whatever information, let's just say it's a telephonic conversation. So whatever conversation took place, just write about it. Don't give irrelevant or extra information. Don't you dare to cook stories, right? Again, we have got the word limit and we have to stick to it. Okay? Hi, ma'am. Right, Himanshi. In fact, it is for everybody whosoever wants to understand about CBSE's creative writing skills. The message is for everybody. Grammatically correct sentences should be used. So you need to have a good command over your grammar when it comes to writing up any sort of creative writing. Okay, so I would simply suggest you to write yeah, I would simply suggest you to write short sentences, so there'll be less of the chances for you to committing any sort of grammatical error. Okay. Plan the content beforehand. Use the pencil and jot out the value points in the answer sheet. For example, you have got a question on any of the telephonic conversation on which you need to write a message. So use a pencil. Do not simply use your pen and start drafting it out. No. First of all, prepare a rough draft and then start jotting down whatever value points you want to add. And then once you are satisfied, once you're final with whatever you want to write it down, after that you can simply finalize the content. Next is indirect or reported speech should be used, right? So you need to write in an indirect or reported. You know that, right? We are doing it since grade 4 or 5, I believe, right? put the message into the box. So yes, you have to put the message into the box. Otherwise, the marks will be deducted if you will not going to frame a box for that message. So kindly put the box, draw a frame a box and then write down your message inside it. Keep the word limit in mind. Only the content in the body is counted. Although with the body, which I've just told you, other than date and whatever you're writing, the content needs to be simply in 50 words. Try not to skip the word limit. Stick to it. Okay, like genuinely stick to it. Avoid using long sentences. As you already know, if we will going to use long sentences, they will simply add to vocabulary errors, spelling errors, and grammatical errors. And we simply can't afford losing marks when it comes to English, right? So try to follow these many rules. All right. Avoid using abbreviations. Avoid using short forms because this is for the exam purpose, right? Otherwise, you can use your abbreviations, your short forms, but for the purpose of exams, don't use abbreviations, right? Now here it's a simple format how you can write a message. So on the top there is supposed to be the word message, like it is mandatory. You need to write the word message on the top. Then on your extreme left, you are supposed to write date. Then comes time, right? After date, you're not supposed to leave a line, although after message, you can leave a line, right? Then you have to write the date. Post that, we have got a time. At what time you are writing the message. I repeat, at what time you are writing this message, okay? After that, you have to leave a line. Agreed? Like this is what we are supposed to do, right? This is how we are supposed to do. We have written the word message on the top. We have left a line. After that, on our extreme left, we have used the space to write a date. Just beneath that, we have to write time. Then we are supposed to leave a line. After that, you are supposed to write the addressee's name. Addressees means for whom you are writing. Okay, that person's name needs to be there. Leave a line and then begin with the body, with the main content of your message. Okay. Again, leave a line and then write your own name. Got it? I'm simply repeating it again. On the top, center, message, leave a line, date. Just beneath the date, there needs to be a time. Leave a line again. Now, for whom you're writing up this message, you are supposed to write that person's name, then leave a line, body, leave a line, and your name. Okay? All right. Now, here I have got a sample for you. So, let's check it out together. Okay. You are Tony. I'm so sorry, you're not Ramesh, you're Tony. Today you had the following conversation with Josh, a friend of your elder sister. So now Josh calls you up and he's simply asking, hello, is it 97568 Tony replies, yes. I'm Tony speaking. What can I do for you? Josh replies, well, Tony, I'm Josh. You know your sister's friend? Then Tony says, oh, I see. Well, she's not here now. So how can I help you? After that, Josh replies, okay, Himanshi. Right. After that, Josh replies that could you please convey her that she should bring my art file tomorrow in school as I need it in class tomorrow. So this is your simple message which you need to convey to your sister. Tony says that okay, that's fine, I'll do that for you. You got it? So that is simply how you're supposed to use this particular information. Could you Silekar it in class tomorrow? This is the simple message which you have to draft for your sister. Now, how it is supposed to be? On the extreme top and in the center, you are supposed to write the word message. Right? Message needs to be there. Then we are supposed to leave one line. After that, the date. That is 12th September 20th, 20, right? Just beneath the date, you are supposed to mention the time. That is, let's just say 11 a.m. The exact time at when you are writing the message. Leave a line again. For example, if you want to write her name, dear Jane, or simply sister, whatever. Josh called in your absence. Okay. Hi, Digital Amit. Josh called in your absence. he wants you to bring his art file to school tomorrow. So he wants you to bring his art file to school tomorrow. He said it is urgent as he needs it. So he's simply telling you that he needs it, right? So we have simply used the last dialogue, the last sentence, the last statement given by George here. All right. We have not added up any information on our own. We have simply used the information which was given by uh, George at the end. All right. Okay. Now here's we've got a sample to another example. Now here it's not a telephonic conversation. Okay. So how we can solve this question? It says you are Ali or Alicia. You stay in a hostel and share a room with Meet or Mitisha, like whichever gender suits as your classmate. You have been detected with viral fever and some other complications are also there. For this reason, you have to be admitted in a hospital immediately. Draft a message telling your roommate why and where you are going and that you will be back in 5 days. Also, request him or her to submit your hi Ankita, and also you have to inform you that he or she needs to submit your homework notebooks for checking. All right. So now the message is right here. As I've already told you, you need to write the word message on the top, right, in the center only. Then extreme left, it begins with the date, which is 11 September 2020. After that, there's supposed to be a time. Herein, we have used time 4 p.m. Leave a line and then begin with maybe Meet or Mitisha, whichever suits you. Leave a line again and then write the content, the body of the message. I'm going to the hospital as I have been got viral fever and some other minor complications are also there. I will be admitted in the hospital for 5 days. Please submit all my notebooks for checking. Got it? So that is how we write messages also. Right? Here we haven't got any of the telephonic conversation, but the other way is that the question is in this format and we can answer it in this way. And we're signing off as Ali or Anisha. Okay? Are we clear till now? Sorted. Yes, Himanshi, you do have to leave a line just after message. So there'll be a message, leave a line, date, time, leave a line for whom you're writing. For example, for Ambika, okay? So, dear Ambika, after that, leave a line again, begin with the content, leave a line, and then you can write your name. Okay? Now, next here comes our notice writing. Okay? Let's begin now. Herein what we have discussed that message is an informal piece of writing, right? But notice is properly completely a formal piece of writing. This is the first and the major difference between these two. Okay, so a notice is a short composition meant to convey a piece of information to some people who would be interested in it. For example, you are conducting a blood donation camp or you are planning to have a tree plantation program. So you need to keep in mind for whom you are writing up a message, for whom you're writing up a notice. Okay. Now, notice is a written or printed information or news announcement. So what is basically a notice? It is simply a written or a printed information for the announcement of any sort of news. Notices are either displayed at prominent places or published in newspapers, magazines. Hi, Amarnath Chauhan. Good afternoon. So herein we are talking about notice writing. Okay, so notices can be displayed on the, at a very prominent spot, or they can be published in newspapers or magazines. Okay, it is meant only for a selected group. You need to keep a target audience while writing up a notice. Since a notice contains a formal announcement, right, or information, its tone and style is formal and factual. Since it is supposed to be a formal piece of writing, That is why you need to keep your tone and style of writing factual plus formal. Okay. Next is its language should be simple and formal. Notice is always brief and to the point, right? So the notices are meant to be brief, right? And they are supposed to be to the point. So again, that was applied on messages also. They are supposed to be precise, concise, to the point, and that is here also. But the only difference, major difference, is that with messages, we can go informal and the tone can be, a bit of informal. But here in notice, the language, the tone needs to be formal. Okay. Now, the information could be about an event that has already taken place or is about to take place in near future. So majorly we do write about, the information or about, events which are supposed to take place, they're about to take place, right? For example, a cultural event, a concert, a play, a dance performance, etc. A sports event, a meeting, or a birth, marriage, death, etc. of somebody, right? So these are the common areas wherein we can write about the notice. Now, let's check out the features of notice. As we already know, when it comes to writing a message, the word limit is that of 50 words, and that is simply here also with notice. Okay, the word limit is of 50 words. Write the word notice at the top. So we do have to mention the word notice at the top, just like the way we did with messages. Alright. Name and place of the school, organization, or office issuing the notice should be mentioned. So whosoever, I simply repeat, and this point is really important, guys. Like, keep this in mind that the name of the organization, let's just say if it's a school, any sort of organization, or any authoritative office, if they are issuing up any sort of notice, they do need to mention their name in that. Okay. Give an appropriate heading. So you need to give a proper heading to your notice. Write the date of issuing the notice. Like when this notice was issued, you need to mention that date also. Like when you're writing the notice, you need to write that information also. Next is clearly mention the target group for whom this particular notice is addressed, right? So you need to mention that targeted group, that, all those who are, let's just say there's a book fair. So all those who are literates who love to read books, it is for them, right? So you need to keep your audience, keep your target group in mind, right? If you're displaying the notice on notice board. Then comes purpose of the notice. So like, what is the purpose of a notice? Why are you even writing it? That will be part of it. Mention all the relevant details. So whatever relevant details are there on your part, like when you are planning to organize a tree plantation program, what is the time, right? And venue, like where are you planning to conduct it? The date. So these three are the important criteria which you need to fulfill while writing up a notice. They were date, venue, and time. All right. Signature, name and designation of the person issuing the notice. For example, you have, like, for example, you are simply a deputy minister or a deputy cultural head, okay, a deputy cultural head of the of your school, right? So herein you need to mention, let's just say, Rahul Sharma, deputy cultural head, and so school, right? So you do need to mention that as well. Next is put the notice in a box, right? Put the notice in a box. You need to keep the notice in a box. I want to tell you one thing very clearly, that uh, we do have marks for box, right? We do have marks for box. I'm so sorry. Yes, we will going to discuss everything in detail, so you don't need to worry about it. We will going, yes, that's what I'm saying. We will going to discuss everything in detail, so you don't need to worry about it. Okay. Next is, let's check about the format of the notice. So that is how the format needs to be there. Name of the issuing agency or authority. Whosoever is issuing this notice, their name needs to be there, right? The word notice needs to be there. I repeat, the word notice needs to be there. Date of issue, release of the notice needs to be there. Title, subject of the event needs to be there. So you do need to keep this thing in mind. After that, the body will begin. After that, the content, the body of your text will begin. All right. Post that, you need to mention the date, time, duration, place, or venue, whichever is important. Okay. If you want to ask a certain sort of people, a certain sort of audience to be there, so you do need to mention like where they are supposed to report, at what time. So they all needs to be there. Next comes is your own signature, right? After that, your name needs to be there, your designation. Okay, yeah, here. Now, these are simple ways how we can begin with it, and it's a simple situation also. For example, as I've already told you, like you have to mention the name of the institution or the organization. So it refers to the name of the institution of which the person writing a notice is a part of. For example, it is mentioned in question that you are the head boy or head girl of DPS school. So you do need to mention that you are from Dehradun Public School. Got my point? You need to mention you are writing on like whose behalf. So you're writing on behalf of the institution. Next comes the date. Next comes the date. It should be written in the format of. It should be written in the format of date, month, and the year, right? How it is supposed to be written? Date, month, and the year. Next comes the heading of the notice. So the heading of the notice, it needs to be like, as I've already told you, very precise. That is something which we need to keep in mind. All right. And it's just, let's just say it is about inter-school music competition. So you want to tell everybody at large that you are conducting an inter-school music competition. So that will be your major heading of the notice. Now, the body. So body should contain all the necessary information required in notice like time, venue, last date for any sort of registration. For example, it's about music competition, right? So you need to tell everybody that this is the last date till the time you can confirm your name, right? So you need to mention the last date, and it should be written in passive voice without the use of first person. You simply can't write I in like throughout the notice. You cannot mention I there. Next is you have to sign up the notice. You have to sign up the notice with your own signature. All right, this is something which we have to follow. The person who is responsible. Right, Himanshi, you were correct that we simply need to answer all those five W's, which are what, why, when, where, right? So we need to answer those questions. Next is, as I was telling you about the signature. Hi, Tanishq. Hi. You're a bit late for the class though, but join in. And we are still discussing here now notices. Okay. So the person who is responsible for notice, his or her signature should come. For example, you are Sumit or Sneha, the head boy or head girl of the school. Then you have to sign as Sumit or Sneha. You do need to mention your name. All right. Next come, as I've already told you, your name, and post that there'll be your designation, which you do need to mention. If you are simply the head boy, the head girl, or the librarian, or you are simply the principal of the school, you need to mention your designation also. Otherwise, notice is being considered as incomplete. Now, here we have got a sample. Now, as the principal of Bal Bharti School, Lucknow, draft a notice in not more than 50 words. I repeat, in not more than 50 words. All right. informing students of the change in school timing after, with effect from 1st of October. State valid reasons for the change, and you do need to mention the valid reasons for these changes. Now let's quickly recheck the format of the notice. So how it is supposed to begin? There is supposed to be name of the issuing agency or authority, right? It is supposed to be there. So the name of the school will be there. After that, the word notice. The word notice. Just beneath that, extreme left though, we have to write the date on which you are releasing this notice. Post that, there'll be a title of what the notice is all about, right? After that, there will be a clear content, that is the body of your text. That we are done. We will going to sign off as our with our own name if it is being given. If it is not being given, then whichever way you are fine with, you need to mention your name, you need to sign, and you need to mention your designation as well. Right now, the question was, as the principal of Bal Bharti School Lucknow, draft a notice in not more than 50 words informing students of the change in school timings with effect from the 1st of October. So you are the principal of the school and you want to inform people, that is the students at large, that the timings are being changed right now. So at the top, what have we mentioned? We have mentioned the name of the school. That is Bal Bharti Lucknow. After that, what are we supposed to write? The word notice. Fine. Extreme left. Leave a line after the word notice and then move to extreme left and then write the date. The date on which you are issuing this notice. Okay. Leave a line again. Put the heading out there in the center. Change in school timing. Are we clear? Now, next comes the body of the notice. All students are hereby informed about a change in school timings from 1st of October 2020. So, this is the information which you wanted to tell to the people at large. The school will now start at 9 p.m. and end at 3 p.m. In the past few years, it has been seen that winters are rather severe and it becomes quite difficult to start early due to extreme cold weather and the dense fog. So these new timings will be followed till further notice. So you have given up your reason that why you are changing the time and what will be the timing, from when the timings need to be followed, and they all have to adhere to this time limit, to this time till the further notice being released about the same. All right, and you are signing off as SP Jain, the principal, right? That is your designation. Okay. Now here we have got another question, another sample. You are sports secretary of Sethi Public School, Jharkhand. So you are the sports secretary of the school. Draft a notice in not more than 50 words for your school notice board asking the students to give their names for participation in various events to be held on annual sports day. What is the agenda of this notice? Is that you are simply you are sports secretary of the school named as Sethi Public School, Jharkhand, and herein you are telling the all those who are interested in the first place that the annual sports day is coming up, and all of you, all those who are interested, can give their names. All right, and if any other information you need to add, you can simply do that. Okay. Now, invent the details of the events. It is, you have got the liberty that you can invent your own details about the event, and you can sign yourself as Shobha or Shobit. Now, extreme and on the in the center itself, extreme top. The name of the school, Sethi Public School, Jharkhand. The word notice needs to be there. I will repeat, the word notice needs to be there. Without this word, it will be considered as an incomplete format. Okay. Now we'll go to extreme left. How? By leaving one line. After notice, you need to leave one line and then we'll move towards left. You have to mention the date on which you are writing up this text, the notice. Alright, again, leave a line about what this notice is all about. It is about Annual Sports Day. So you do need to mention it is about Annual Sports Day. Clear? Leave a line again. Okay, why are we leaving these lines, by the way? Anybody who can tell me? Anybody who can simply tell me, you can write your answer in the comment box. If by any chance you know why are we leaving these lines. Okay, I'll give you the answer. It is because you are simply putting up the attention. You're simply telling that these are the important things which they need to follow, right? These are the important things, and how we are simply telling it by simply leaving a line, because when you leave a space, your eyes get automatically stick to the content which is being written there in the bold, right? So that is simply the agenda of it. So it says our school is celebrating its annual sports day on 20th October 2020. You have already informed people at, yes, attention, very good, Himanshi, and attention, and it is supposed to be in bold. Perfect. So yeah, you have simply informed here that your school is conducting annual sports day. Perfect, and for the attraction too. All right. Your school is organizing an annual sports day on 20th October 2020, right? You have simply mentioned the date on which date it will be conducted. Students are hereby informed to give their names for participation in various events to be held on the sports day. So you are telling your agenda that herein you can, I mean, all those who are interested, they can they can inform either the sports head or anybody about the participants. Now, the list of the events are given below, right? There will be 100 meters race, there will be high jump, there will be 200 meters relay, there will be shot put, gymnastics, and kho. So all those who are interested in these many sports events, I mean these many activities or games, they can simply give away their names to the concerned person. Please give your names to the undersigned latest. Now, undersigned means the person who is signing off. The person who is signing off latest by the 10th of November during the zero period. You are telling the time, I mean, you're telling the date, the last date for signing up, and also the time, that is zero period. Till zero period, you can give me your name in the sports room. And you have signed as Shobit, Sports Secretary. All right, so I hope all of you are very much clear with these topics when it comes to writing up the message and the notice. As I've already told you that the notice is a formal piece of writing and message is an informal piece of writing. I have also discussed the tips on which you can work upon how you are supposed to write a message, where the word message needs to be there. At, After that, you're supposed to leave a line and the body will be there. Same applies to the different format when it comes to notice also. So do follow these rules, and I hope you will be you will going to get great marks when it comes to writing these in your exam. All right. So with this, I'm signing off. Please.